Who could have done this? Granted, the orthodox theory of just war holds that it is permissible for combatants to intentionally attack other combatants, and younglings are, after all, child soldiers, with the latter part of the moniker being the operative factor, thereby rendering them legitimate targets of attack. However, as argued in the paper Child Soldiers, the Ethical Perspective by the Gungan philosopher Jacques Maahns...
boring nerd talk. I do not have...
You know, Master Yoda, I often wonder when you will have time for some fascinating philosophical dialogue.
When dead, you are.
Very well, Master Yoda. I'll hold you to that.
Huh?
At least your stash was intact. Or you're the drugs, left alone. Bar those few bricks of cocaine that one clone trooper physically jammed into every orifice before passing away. His mouth locked into an eternal scream, and his ears sliced off with his own vibroblade. Makes you wonder what would drive a man to do such a thing.
A relief, that is. High prices the Knights of Ren charge, but consummate with the quality, it is.
On the other hand, it was certainly awful to hear all those reports of the masters we lost. Master Secura, Shaak Ti, and even Master Mundi. All dead.
Have my doubts about that report, I do.
Well, in the case of the latter, I sensed his death myself. Indeed, when I felt it, I sensed many Lurmen died as well. To make matters worse, they even died before he did. Doubtless, the clones took the time to execute that entire colony of Lurmen to make Mundi suffer. And then, after a short 30-minute break and following Order 66's activation, they finally killed him too.
Have my doubts about the reports of the deaths of Security and Mundi, I do, because the source of that report, Master Shaak Ti, was...
Yes, that struck me as a smidge odd too, but then she gave a most heartfelt eulogy. So I suppose I was too touched to remember.
Touched in the head, maybe.
First eulogy I've ever heard delivered from a coffin. Most fortunate it was an open casket affair. Plus, Master Joe Costanu gave us some delicious blue milk tea. Then we had the opportunity to sit around and discuss philosophy for some time, so I was quite giddy. It really is wonderful to know not even one of the more literary Jedi in the Temple passed away. Isn't it, Master Yoda?
The worst day of my life, this is.
Just think, Master Yoda. We can rebuild the Order from the ground up, only this time with a far greater focus on theological and philosophical thought and inquiry. Just imagine it, Master Yoda. The entire temple filled with academic discourse.
Kill young Skywalker, you must.
Master Yoda, I hardly think that a fitting punishment for apostasy.
A murderer, he is. A war criminal, he is.
Those false surrenders, instances of prisoner torture, executing people without trial, commanding a slave army, and finally, leading child soldiers all helped us win the Star Wars. And at the end of a galactic standard day, isn't that what counts?
Feel like a winner right now, do you?
Just today, we've had an hours-long discussion on philosophy and literature. I can't fathom being more of a winner.
Nearly joined the younglings, I did. Being systematically eradicated. The Jedi are.
Yes, and for that reason, I shall go before Porkins Palpatine and debate him into reversing his whole exterminate the Jedi philosophy. Doubtless, once he hears the arguments put forward...
So distinct and opposed are the emotional universes you inhabit. Emerge from that association. Nothing fruitful or sincere can.
Did you just reference the Serenine philosopher Trand Usuel?
Working for Darth Sidious, young Skywalker is. Bring about oppression and calamity on a scale never before seen, he will. Powerful enough to stop Emperor Porkins Palpatine. You are not.
I just truly think that if Emperor Porkins Palpatine heard my arguments that while, yes, through creating a galactic empire to rule for the rest of his life, he could have all the riches, power, and prestige he could ever hope for, the satisfaction of completing not only his lifelong ambition, but that of the Sith dating back millennia, and be in a position to ensure the sequel trilogy never comes to pass, from a moral perspective, his actions would be considered wrong by the metrics of many philosophical frameworks. And ultimately, isn't that what matters most?
No. Stop Skywalker, you must. Confront the Emperor. I shall.
But why, Master Yoda?
Consumed by his thesis he has become. Killed themselves, these younglings did, to escape that thesis. Died. Billions already have from the broadcast we stopped. Die, trillions more will, if allowed to go unchecked. he is.
Yes, deaths of trillions, etc., but actually why?
Crack down on ketamine smuggling. An empire would. A disaster, that would be. Lost their lives, the younglings have. How embarrassing. How embarrassing.